Across the Martial Emperor continent, the Nine Serenities Secret Records are treated as a legend. Written by an ancient emperor, the tome is said to contain secrets so vast that mastering them could let someone reach the highest realm and know all things with a single thought. That legend finally falls into the hands of Demonic Emperor Zhuo Yifan. As he sits on his throne at Devil Peak, word of the ultimate martial arts leaks out, and the righteous path begins moving toward him for the secret records. Storm clouds gather around Devil Peak as enemies close in. Zhao Cheng, Zhuo Yifan's core disciple, arrives in panic and warns that the defensive array has already been destroyed, leaving the attackers almost at the gate. Zhuo Yifan does not panic. He says even the seven emperors together cannot defeat him, but the broken array tells him someone has conspired from within and outside. An army demands the Nine Serenities Secret Records. Facing the storm and the army below, Zhuo Yifan dismisses them as small fry. Then he steps forward and drops from the ledge, rushing down through the lightning toward the fighters waiting beneath him. He dives into the attackers with green energy in his hands. Bright slashes tear through the robed figures in the storm, and even as someone orders the demonic emperor to give up, Zhuo Yifan only reacts to the challenge. Then Zhuo Yifan looks upward and recognizes that the real arrivals have come. The seven emperors hover in the storm and demand the secret records, but he faces them and reminds the Sword Emperor of his own public standing as leader of the eight emperors. Zhuo Yifan holds his ground, declaring that the seven remaining emperors still cannot match him even together. He smiles with a glowing red object in hand, while a golden-robed elder answers that he is already an enemy of the sacred domain. The sacred domain side presses its claim. A white-haired, golden-armored figure says they have come to reclaim the Demon Emperor's mementos, and another man warns Zhuo Yifan that this opponent is the most powerful saint from the sacred domain. Zhuo Yifan laughs bitterly and calls the righteous ones and saints greedy villains. In the middle of that defiance, a bright blade or spike pierces his chest, leaving him stunned as the golden figure tells him to surrender. Only then does Zhuo Yifan turn and see the betrayal clearly. He calls out Zheng, accusing him of leaking the news, destroying the defensive array, and letting the enemies in, then asks why the disciple he raised like a son would do this. Zhao Cheng admits the debt he owes, but resentment has already won. He says Zhuo Yifan trained alone after obtaining the secret records and never even let him glance at them, leaving Zhuo Yifan to realize there is no one in the world he can trust. Bleeding, Zhuo Yifan smiles and laughs at how thoroughly they cornered him. Rather than let anyone else take the Nine Serenities Secret Records, he declares he will destroy them, and the figures around him realize he is about to self-destruct. The warning becomes a golden explosion. Light erupts from the center of Devil Peak, throwing the figures around Zhuo Yifan back as his final act consumes the battlefield. After the blast, a white glow falls through the night sky above a forest. The story leaves Devil Peak behind and follows that falling light into the darkness below. In a forest clearing, bodies lie motionless after a violent clash. Among them is a red-trimmed young man on his back, while nearby injuries, blood, and a lodged sharp object show how brutal the scene has been. A pale blue streak descends into the young man's forehead. His eyes snap open, and the dark-haired boy kneels in confusion, staring at his own hands and asking if this body is really him. The truth settles in as he looks down at the child's body he now occupies. The demonic emperor has survived by possession, but as he moves through the dark forest, glowing green eyes appear in the bushes. Wolf-like beasts rush through the trees with glowing eyes. They close in from different angles, their bodies cutting through the dark forest as the distant robed figure becomes their target. The robed young man shouts at the attacking beasts. As birds scatter above the canopy, the beasts keep running through the forest while he remains below in the clearing. The young man approaches an injured, seated man who begs Zhuo Fan to save him. Instead of offering comfort, he notices the body's second layer of ki condensation and decides that cultivation can be absorbed for his own use. His bandaged hand clamps onto the injured man's face, and the man realizes something is wrong. When asked who he is, the young man answers plainly, he is not Zhuo Fan, but the demonic emperor, Zhuo Yifan. The Nine Serenities Secret Records reveal the demon transformation art. Blue light streaks through the darkness as a glowing hand reaches toward a man's glowing eye. By daylight, Zhuo Yifan explains the danger behind the art. It can take another person's cultivation base, but another man's hard-earned yuan qi would reject him unless he first transforms it before absorbing it completely. A fiery glow rises beside Zhuo Yifan as his hand presses against the skeletal figure. By morning, he says, even a second-layer qi condensation cultivator took the whole night to transmute, while bright energy gathers around his raised hand. Zhuo Yifan tests the power immediately. A bright energy slash cuts across the forest and erupts against the rocky ground, sending debris and fragments flying through the air. Smoke curls around him as energy cracks across his body and his eyes glow in the haze. Smiling, Zhuo Yifan tells Sword Emperor Zhao Cheng to wait, vowing that when he returns to the sacred domain, heads will fall. He races between the trees, leaving white motion trails behind him. From nothing, this body's cultivation has reached the 5th layer of foundation establishment, and Zhuo Yifan believes his return to the sacred domain will not take long. Elsewhere in the forest, a gray-haired young man looks from behind a tree as a confrontation unfolds below. Armed figures gather, accusations are thrown at someone's surnamed son, and a guard stands before a blonde woman. The dispute centers on the Luo clan and the returning dragon palm, a spirit-ranked martial art passed down for generations. Captain Pong is urged to submit, but the blonde woman refuses to hand it over even if they die, while a young boy wants to fight the traitor himself. Zhuo Yifan observes that the Luo clan has fallen because of a traitor in its midst. He considers the body's relationships and grudges, then tries to dismiss these mortal clan matters as unrelated to him, until a red slash suddenly comes in. The attack catches Zhuo Yifan in midair. He reacts in shock as the red impact fills the space behind him, ending the chapter with his new life already dragged into another fight.